What's up, everyone? It's Dave from the Racers Who Say Neat. Today I'll be showing you how I do my rust effects. I start with a Volkswagen that's been drilled and modified a bit. I remove the rear wing and the front splitter to give it a more rat rod appearance. I then go over it with a wire wheel. I prime it black and then go back over that with an earthy tone brown. That'll be my base layer of rust. I then take a redder tone brown to start the next layer. This one is Rotbraun primer from Scale 75's Warfront line. Using a round brush, I start tapping where I want the newer, brighter layers of rust. The more random you are, the more realistic this will look in the end. I'm mostly concentrating on larger panels and edges. Don't worry if it starts to look splotchy. By the end of this, it'll all be tied together. If you see spots that you're not really happy with, like this door here, I thought there was a little too much paint on there, you can go back over it with the same brush. Alright, next up is going to be Typhus Corrosion. This is a technical paint from Games Workshop, also known as Citadel. It's an extremely thin paint with fine pumice in it. And what you're going to want to do with this is dab it around just like you did with your other brown. You don't have to worry so much about how dark it is now, because when it dries it will lighten up a little bit. What I'm doing here is mainly focusing on where water would be pooling or where it would be exposed to the elements a little more than in other places. So I'm going to be getting into the crevices and any of the indentations or flat panels facing up. I'm also going to do the roof line because obviously that's going to see a lot of weathering, and then around the fuel filler cap there. Again, being as random as possible is the key to making this look good, because there's no rhyme or reason to where an entirely rusty vehicle is going to be darker other than where the recesses are and where water would be pooling. So anywhere other than that, just be random, it's going to look fine. Okay, that's going to take 10 to 15 minutes to dry because of how thin it is, so I decided to do something else. I took my Molotow chrome pen, and I was going to detail the exhaust pipes. I thought it would be a cool touch to contrast the dirty, nasty rust of the vehicle, and make it look like whoever owns this vehicle is paying more attention to how it runs than how it looks. And I go to do the headers. And the air scoop. I get a little bit on the supercharger, so at this point I'm throwing caution to the wind and the entire engine's going to be chrome. Is it realistic? Probably not, but you know what? It's my car, I can do what I want. Don't forget the fuel filler cap. And now I'm just being a perfectionist. You're probably not even going to see this. Next up is Ryza Rust. This is a technical paint, again from Games Workshop. This one's very different though, as it's super thick. There's not much binder in it. And what you're going to want to do is load your brush up with the orange paint and then wipe the majority of it off. Then lightly and quickly go over the surface of the vehicle, and where there's raised edges or large flat panels, that little bit of paint that's on your bristles are going to end up catching on those and transferring to the vehicle. You're doing two things at once here. A, you're adding that final real light layer of rust that looks like it's only recently formed. And B, you're tying the rest of your paint together so you'll see less of the splotchiness from the earlier steps. And by the time you're done, it's going to be seamless and look like it's been sitting out in the field for a few years. Now here I'm paying extra attention to the places where I put on the Typhus Corrosion, because remember, the fine pumice in that is now stuck to the vehicle. And wherever you dry brush over it, that pumice is going to pick up the bright orange, and it's going to give the illusion of depth. It's going to make the rust look like it's aged. And with that, you're done. I hope you enjoyed this, and I really hope you learned something. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments, and I'll make sure to get to them. Like and subscribe for upcoming content. There's going to be some races posted here. And happy racing, everyone.